Have you ever heard of the Selkies or the Kelpies? These legendary beings have been part of Scotland's myths for centuries, and today we'll uncover their secrets. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's journey into Scottish legend. Hello and welcome to the Scottish English Podcast, the show where English language learners can explore the culture, history and accents of Scotland. I'm Claire and today we are diving into the deep, mysterious world of Scottish folklore. The story of the Selkies. Let's start with the Selkies, one of Scotland's most haunting and romantic folk tales. Selkies are seal people. By day, they swim in the cold northern seas as sleek, beautiful seals. But under the light of the full moon, they can shed their skins and walk the land as humans. Many Selkie stories are tragic love tales. One of the most famous tells of a fisherman who finds a beautiful woman by the shore. He discovers her seal skin hidden on the rocks and steals it. Without her skin, she's unable to return to the sea, so he forces her to marry him. Awful. They have children and for years they seem happy, but deep inside she longs for the ocean. Then one day she finds her seal skin hidden away. Without hesitation she puts it on, transforms back into a seal and disappears into the waves, never to be seen again. Selkie legends come from Scotland's northern coasts and islands, especially Orkney and Shetland, the islands in the north of the country. Some people say these myths were inspired by real stories, perhaps of shipwrecked sailors or strangers coming from faraway countries. Others believe they reflect Scotland's deep connection between the people and the sea. And of course, in these coastal villages, seals were a familiar sight, intelligent creatures that seemed to watch humans with knowing eyes. Could they really be Selkies in disguise? The Deadly Kelpies. Now let's move from the sea to Scotland's rivers and lochs, where a much darker creature lurks, the Kelpie. The Kelpie is a shape-shifting water spirit. It often appears as a magnificent black horse standing at the water's edge. But don't be fooled. If you try to ride it, its skin becomes sticky, trapping you on its back. Then, before you can escape, it gallops into the water, dragging you to a watery death. Creepy, right? One of the most famous Kelpie legend comes from Loch Ness. Yes, the same place as the Loch Ness Monster, which we talked about in last week's episode. Some believe that Nessie, the giant creature of the loch, might be a Kelpie in disguise. But Kelpies don't always take the form of horses. Sometimes they appear as humans. Usually a handsome man or a beautiful woman who tries to lure you into the water. But if you look closely, you might notice something strange. Their feet remain hooves, no matter what form they take. These stories served as warnings, especially for children. Just as they can be today, rivers and lochs were dangerous places, and Kelpie tales reminded people to be careful near the water. Today, Scotland still remembers the Kelpies. If you visit Falkirk, you'll see two enormous metal horse heads, 30 metres tall. These sculptures, called the Kelpies, were built to celebrate Scotland's horse-powered history, but they also remind us of these mythical creatures. Selkies and Kelpies in modern culture. Even today, Selkies and Kelpies continue to inspire books, films and music. Many of you will know the battle between Elsa and a spirit horse in Frozen 2. This is a legend from Scandinavian folklore, similar to the Scottish Kelpie. And you should check out Song of the Sea, a beautiful animated film about a young boy and his Selkie sister. I'll leave a link to the trailer in the description. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed discovering the legends of Selkies and Kelpies. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're listening in podcast land, please follow me on your favourite podcasting app and leave a review. It really helps other people find the show. And do comment down below if you want to find out more about Scotland's history, culture, what interests you. Let me know and I will see if we can make some more episodes of the Scottish English Podcast just for you. Thanks for listening. See you later.